Hey guys, it's Stephanie and I'm here with the first book haul of the year. It's pretty gigantic. I've separated it into categories. So one category is things I got for Christmas, and then my friend Liz Schubert sent me a bunch of books, so that's its own separate category, and then books that I bought online / found at a thrift store is the third category. And first pile, I'm gonna do the books that Liz sent to me, and first one is Blackbirds by Chuck Wendig. This is the first in the Miriam Black series. It's kind of a dark horror mystery with a little bit of fantasy supernatural elements to it, but it is about a woman named Miriam Black who has the power to see when people are gonna die, and her character is very rough around the edges. She sounds a little Jessica Jones-ish, and a lot of people that I follow really love this series, and Chuck Wendig is a pretty beloved author in the horror community, so I'm excited to read something by him finally. The next book she sent me was her favorite book of last year, and this is So Long, See You Tomorrow by William Maxwell, and this is a novella about two families and how they are affected by a murder on a tiny Illinois farm in the 1920s. Everything I've read about it kind of seems like it has the same feel as like a Kent Harrah, like Our Souls at Night type of story, so I'm really looking forward to this, and Liz says it was one of her favorites. The next book she sent me is The Coaster by Erich Wurster. It kind of seems like a dark comedy. I know it's about a man who inherits his brother-in-law's company and then crazy stuff happens. I'm not really even sure what the mystery is. I've read the back and the synopsis a few times and I'm still not sure. So this is just what I'm gonna have to go into blind and just see what unfolds. She also sent me Phantom Limbs by Paula Garner. This is a YA story, and this is about a boy named Otis, and he has a very close friend, Meg, when they're growing up, but she moves away and he feels at a loss without her, and it's about him trying to move on and kind of define himself without her while still longing for and missing her friendship. The next book that she sent me is The Expatriates by Janice Y.K. Lee, and this is a story about three different women kind of struggling with their own demons, and I'm guessing there is some kind of a connection between the stories. This cover is beautiful, and I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that they are expatriates. The next two books were Christmas gifts from my husband. I'm always really excited to see what he gets me for Christmas because he never checks like my wish list. You know, he doesn't watch my YouTube channel or anything, so he is purely just like browsing and like figuring out what he thinks I would like, and this year he did really well. So the first book he got me was Fever Dream by Samantha Schweblin. This is one I have seen going around. A lot of people that I follow and love just adore this book. I know Juan at Just One Reader talked about it and a few other people, and it seems really short and dark, and it's translated fiction from Spanish, I think, translated by Megan McDowell. So I'm really looking forward to this. This is one I've been meaning to read, and I've borrowed from the library and just like never got around to reading it, but now I own it, so I can read it. And then he got me Manhattan Beach by Jennifer Egan because I think she was being interviewed by NPR one time when we were driving somewhere, and I mentioned that I liked A Visit from the Goon Squad by her. So he remembered, guys. It's so cute. So he bought me Manhattan Beach by her, and he also remembered that I said I wanted to read more historical fiction this year. And I know this was big because it was like a book of the month pick, but I know this is about like a female diver. I think there's a mystery element to it, but I'm basically, other than that, I'm going to go into this blind. So these are a few books I bought on Thrift Books, and the first book I bought was Middlemarch by George Eliot, and I'm so excited I got this edition because this wasn't technically the edition I picked out, but this is a lot better than the edition I picked out. This is gigantic. It's like about 1,000 pages. Henry's here to help me talk about why I want to read Middlemarch. So Middlemarch, you want to hold it?
Okay. Hi.
Hi. It's a classic I've been meaning to get to, and I'm telling myself this is the year that that's gonna happen. Up to the camera, show the camera.
No.
He's shy. So the next book I picked up was Brideshead Revisited by Evelyn Waugh. Are you all done?
I'm done.
Okay. And another one of the classics I picked up was Brideshead Revisited by Evelyn Waugh. I don't know too much about this one, but it's pretty short. It seems pretty doable. I know a lot of people really like Evelyn Waugh. Love the cover. It's not in great condition, but I paid like almost nothing for it, so it's totally fine. 2 years ago, I did a buddy read with Kate Howe, and we read Of Human Bondage, and I really enjoyed it, and I really liked how approachable W. Somerset Maugham's writing was. So I decided that I did want to read more of his work, and so I decided to get The Razor's Edge by him, just because it seems like it's about a group of friends. And when I read the synopsis, to me, it sounded a little bit like The Interestings. It's a book I wanted to pick up. I really haven't heard anything about this book at all, so I wanted to give it a try. The next book I picked up was Funny Girl by Nick Hornby. I did my worst of the year video and someone said that this was the worst book they read last year, and of course they said this after I bought it, so I don't know what to think of it anymore. I liked High Fidelity. I thought it was a fun story. I'm hoping this is also, you know, a fun story with like surprising depth to it. We'll see. The next book I picked up was one I've been meaning to get to, and this is Audition by Ryu Murakami. Not only do I want to read more translated books, I want to read more translated horror books. This is pretty doable. I haven't seen the movie, so I kind of have an idea what happens, just because I do listen to a lot of horror podcasts and it has been discussed. I don't know too much about it, and this is a buddy read I'm going to be doing with Devin over at the Indie Insomniac, so I'm pretty excited for it. The next bunch of books were all books I picked up at the thrift store because I figured going to the thrift store after January when people are cleaning all their crap out would be a really good time to go find some hidden treasures, and I was right. So I found Blackwater Rising by Attica Locke. I read The Cutting Season by Attica Locke last year and really enjoyed it. It was a standout story for me. This is her debut novel, and I know this is part of a series that she's continued to add to, and this is about a detective, which I love. I love like a good gritty detective story. I'm here for that, and I already love Attica Locke's writing, so I'm really excited to get to this. When I saw a piece like A River by Leif Enger on the shelves at the thrift store, I was like, I am getting this, because I know it was one of her favorite books. I think Krista at Books and Jams also really liked it, so I'm really excited to get to this. It seems about a family whose son has committed a crime and their son goes on the run, and this family is following their fugitive son. So I'm thinking I'm gonna get some complex relationships and reflections of character, which I'm really looking forward to. I was also able to pick up a book that is probably still sitting in all of my like Amazon and book outlet shopping carts, Dorothy Allison's Bastard Out of Carolina. Not in great condition, but again, a thrift store, I paid like nothing for it, so it's fine. So I know this is a story about a girl named Bone who is kind of in an abusive situation, but a lot of people have said good things about it. I saw this book on a list of like underrated modern classics and I really wanted to get to it. I was also able to pick up The Diving Bell and the Butterfly by Dominique Bauby. So this, in the December of 1995, the 43-year-old editor of Elle magazine becomes paralyzed and he can't move, so he's like trapped inside his head and he can only blink his left eye, and somehow out of that he was able to write this memoir. So I am really looking forward to reading this. It seems like it's going to be really intense. And the last book I bought was one I had never even heard of, and this is The Devil's Chimney by Landsman, and this takes place in South Africa in the early 20th century, and it's about a white girl who becomes obsessed with the story of this missing black girl. He also becomes obsessed with this woman who has started an ostrich farm near her, and it's about the complexities and the relationships, and I'm guessing race relations in South Africa and a lot of things. So I'm also really looking forward to this. Anyway guys, that is my gigantic book haul. I'm really excited to get to these, hopefully sometime soon. Let me know if you've read any of these, if you have any opinions on any of the books that I got. I would love to chat with you in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye!